Welcome to AI World TV, your go-to destination for everything artificial intelligence. Discover the captivating landscape of AI, where advanced technology finds real-life application. Subscribe to AI World TV for webzine articles, reports, podcasts, videos, live events, and latest trends. Hear from top industry leaders and discover how AI is transforming industries and our daily lives.
Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today we have a stack of sources, research papers, expert notes on a topic that is, and this isn't an exaggeration, fundamentally changing human health.
We're talking about artificial intelligence in medicine.
Exactly. And the mission for our deep dive today is to really unpack how AI is shifting medicine from, a reactive treat the symptom model
To something truly proactive,
Yeah.
personalized, something focused on prevention.
And it feels like we're at a tipping point.
We are. This is no longer just a futuristic concept. AI is fast becoming a foundational layer of actual clinical practice.
It's this convergence, right? The sources all talk about it.
Right. Is three things coming together at once. First, you have these massive data sets, genomics, electronic health records, real-time data from your watch.
Just a flood of information.
A total flood. Second, you finally have the computing power to make sense of it all. And third, the algorithms themselves have become incredibly sophisticated.
So the idea is to change the course of a disease.
Years before a person would even feel sick enough to walk into a doctor's office.
Okay, let's unpack this. We'll start with diagnosis, then the AI co-pilot for clinicians, drug discovery, and finally, the really tricky stuff, ethics and trust.
Sounds good.
So let's start with diagnosis. How is AI making the biggest impact there?
Well, think about traditional diagnosis. It's reactive. You feel a symptom, you go to the doctor, they work backward from there.
It's episodic.
Exactly. What AI does is it flips that script entirely. It's constantly looking for these subtle patterns, these risk factors, long before any clinical symptoms show up.
And we're seeing some genuinely mind-blowing examples of this in practice.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about imaging. The sources go deep on the work from Google Health with mammography.
Right, the AI model there.
Yep.
It wasn't just as good as the human experts at spotting breast cancer.
It was better.
It was better. And in two really critical ways, it reduced false positives.
Meaning fewer patients getting unnecessary stressful biopsies.
A huge relief for patients. And at the same time, it cut down on false negatives catching cancers that were being missed.
That's a massive win for safety.
It is. But for me, the real aha moment is in ophthalmology, retinal scans.
Looking at the back of the eye.
Right. An AI can now look at the tiny blood vessels back there and, from those patterns alone, predict your risk of having a heart attack or a stroke years down the line.
How is that even possible? How does it connect a vessel in your eye to a cardiac event?
Because it can see things we can't. It's instantly cross-referencing your scan with millions of other anonymized patient records, finding connections. Biological dots that no single human could ever hope to connect.
It's all about integration then. It's not just looking at one thing.
It's looking at everything. That's its superpower.
Okay, so let's get into that integrated data. The term that keeps coming up is multi-omics. Break that down for us.
Sure. So multi-omics is about looking at every layer of your biology at once. You have your genomics, which is your basic DNA blueprint.
The code you're born with.
Right. Then your proteomics, the actual proteins your genes are creating and using. And finally, metabolomics, which are the byproducts of all your cellular processes.
And the AI looks at all of that together.
All of it. Trillions of data points. It finds these incredibly complex interactions that might signal a predisposition to something like Alzheimer's or a specific cancer, maybe a decade before it would ever surface.
Giving you a huge head start.
A massive head start. And then you layer that on top of all the continuous data from wearables.
Right. Your Apple Watch spotting atrial fibrillation, your glucose monitor.
Exactly. So diagnosis stops being a single snapshot in time at your annual checkup.
And it becomes this continuous, dynamic, personalized prediction.
And that continuous data flow is what makes the next step possible. The digital twin.
Okay, this sounds very sci-fi. A virtual model of me.
Of you,
Yeah.
built from all your specific multiomics data, all your real-time physiological data, a perfect digital copy.
But what's the practical use? What does my digital twin actually do?
It makes prevention real. Imagine a patient is diagnosed with a complex cancer.
Okay.
Instead of just starting a standard treatment, the doctor could first run 100 different chemotherapy protocols on the digital twin, virtually. They could see which one works best, which one has the worst side effects.
All without ever touching the actual patient.
Optimizing the outcome before day one of treatment. It's true personalization.
So if that's the diagnostic engine, let's talk about the driver, the clinician. The reality is they're just drowning.
Drowning in data. A single electronic health record can have tens of thousands of data points. It's impossible for a human to process.
So AI becomes this necessary intelligence layer, a co-pilot.
An indispensable co-pilot. Its
Yeah.
main job is synthesis. It can read that entire patient record, cross-reference it with all of medical literature in seconds.
It just expands the doctor's brain, essentially.
Right. But you brought up a good point before we started. What about the data itself? It's often
You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
mess, right? Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, EHRs from different hospitals don't talk to each other. It's a huge hurdle.
It is the biggest practical hurdle, no question. But the co-pilot is actually designed to help with that mess. It flags inconsistencies, it spots anomalies. So even with imperfect data, you start to see the benefits right away.
So what are those day-to-day benefits?
First, it's a safety net in real time. It's constantly scanning for potential drug interactions a busy doctor might miss. It's flagging a lab result that's just a little bit off.
Things a human might overlook.
Exactly. And second, it can dramatically shorten the diagnostic odyssey for rare diseases.
I've heard that term. Years of going from specialist to specialist with no answers.
Right. The AI can see a cluster of weird symptoms, process the atypical markers, and immediately suggest, this looks like this very rare condition, you should see this specific specialist. It can turn years into weeks.
And this brings it all back to personalization.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The AI can look at your specific genetic and clinical profile and say, okay, of the last 10,000 patients just like you, this exact treatment at this exact dosage worked best. It's bringing clinical trial data right to the bedside.
And what about burnout? So much of what exhausts doctors isn't even medicine.
It's paperwork. And that's a key area where AI helps. It can listen to a doctor-patient conversation and draft the clinical notes automatically.
That would be a game changer.
It is. It handles billing codes, pre-authorizations, all the administrative sludge. The goal is to free up the human to be human.
To focus on empathy, on judgment, on actually talking to the patient.
The co-pilot handles the cognitive lift so the doctor can provide the care.
Okay, so if the co-pilot is helping apply the treatments, we need to talk about how those treatments are even created. Drug discovery is, well, it's a brutal numbers game.
Brutal is the right word. You're talking 10, 15 years.
Well,
Billions of dollars. And a failure rate over 90%.
AI is completely upending that.
It is the single biggest disruption in pharma R&D right now. We're moving away from the old model of just manually screening thousands of existing chemicals to generative drug design.
Okay, what does that mean? Is it just picking molecules faster?
No, it's much more creative than that.
Yeah.
The AI designs entirely new molecules from scratch.
From scratch.
A researcher tells them what they want. I need a molecule with high solubility, low toxicity, and it has to fit perfectly into this biological target. And the AI, it just generates novel chemical structures that meet those rules, things a human chemist might never even think of.
The speed this enables is it's staggering. The source is mentioned in silico medicine.
Yes, a fantastic example. They took a drug for a lung disease, idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, from the initial idea,
From target identification.
all the way to a preclinical candidate ready for testing in under 18 months.
18 months. That's unbelievable.
That used to be just the first phase of the process. It's an order of magnitude leap. And it comes down to two things, efficiency and prediction.
Tell me more about prediction.
The AI can predict, with pretty high accuracy, how a new molecule will behave in the body, its effectiveness, its potential side effects, all in silico.
In a computer simulation.
Right. Before you spend a dime synthesizing it in a lab, it lets researchers fail fast and fail cheap. You only move forward with the most promising candidates.
And what about drug repurposing? using old drugs for new tricks.
That's another huge shortcut. The AI is brilliant at mapping all the complex biological pathways. It can spot that a drug approved for, say, arthritis might also be effective against a certain type of cancer.
And because it's already approved, the safety part is mostly done.
Exactly. It shaves years off the regulatory process.
Well, and it's even changing clinical trials themselves, which are the most expensive part of the whole journey.
Oh yeah. It's revolutionizing trial design. AI helps with patient enrichment, finding the absolute perfect patients for a trial down to their specific genetic markers.
So you get clearer results faster.
Much clearer. And some are even exploring using those digital twins we talked about as virtual control arms, which could reduce the need for placebo groups. It's faster and, frankly, more ethical.
We've painted this picture of incredible potential, but for any of this to work at scale, we hit the wall of trust.
It's the essential currency.
People have to know these systems are safe, that they're fair, that someone is accountable. Which brings us to the AI doctor question. Is that the end game here? Replacing humans?
The consensus in all the sources is a very clear no. A fully autonomous AI physician is.
Yeah.
It's not happening anytime soon, and more importantly, it's not even desirable.
Why not?
Because medicine requires empathy, it requires judgment, the ability to handle total uncertainty. Machines don't have that.
But there are specific areas where AI is working autonomously now, right?
Yes, in very specific narrow domains. Image analysis is the big one. An AI can do the first read of a radiology scan, often with superhuman accuracy, and flag it for a human to verify.
What else?
Chronic disease management. Platforms like K-Health use AI to monitor patients with things like diabetes. It can adjust care plans, tweak prescriptions, and it only alerts a human doctor when a patient's data crosses a dangerous threshold.
So it increases access, especially in places without enough doctors.
Exactly. It can handle triage, give basic guidance through a chatbot. It's a force multiplier.
Okay, so let's dig into the foundations of that trust. The first thing the sources demand is transparency. The black box problem.
Right. If an AI recommends a risky treatment, the doctor and the patient need to know why. You can't just accept it on faith.
This is where explainable AI, or XAI, comes in.
Yes. XAI is designed to open that black box. It can highlight the exact pixels in a scan or the specific lab values that led to its conclusion. It makes the AI's reasoning auditable.
And then there's regulation. You can't just unleash this stuff.
Absolutely not. These systems have to go through rigorous clinical validation, just like any drug or medical device. The FDA has a whole framework for this now called Software as a Medical Device, or SAMMD.
And that's designed for these learning systems.
Yes, it's a pathway for AI that continues to learn and evolve even after it's been deployed. It's crucial.
Another huge piece of trust is fairness, algorithmic bias.
This might be the biggest challenge. An AI is only as good as the data you train it on. If you train it mostly on data from one demographic,
It's going to fail for everyone else.
or worse, give them the wrong diagnosis. So you have to be incredibly deliberate about training these models on diverse, representative data from all populations.
And underlying all of this, obviously, is privacy.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Strict compliance with rules like IPEA. The data has to be secure. It has to be de-identified. It's a constant tension because the AI needs more data to get better, but we have to protect privacy at all costs.
Which brings us to the final, giant, unresolved question. Liability.
The million-dollar question, or really the billion-dollar question.
If the AI gets it wrong and a patient is harmed, who is responsible?
Is it the doctor who followed the AI's advice? Is it the hospital that bought the system? Or the company that wrote the code?
And what happens when the AI learns and changes? Does the liability shift?
See, it's a legal and ethical minefield. And until we have clear answers to those questions, the human doctor will, and must, remain the final point of accountability.
So let's bring it all together. What does this all mean for you, the listener? The big takeaway here is that AI isn't just an add-on. It's not just a new tool.
It's a complete restructuring of medicine. It's a fundamental shift toward earlier diagnosis, more precise treatments, and faster discovery.
The future isn't human or AI.
It's human with AI. It's a partnership, augmenting our own abilities to tackle the biggest challenges in health.
It's using machines for what they do best, cognitive scale, and humans for what we do best.
Judgment, empathy, care.
That synergy really does feel like the next great leap in medicine.
And here's a final thought for you to take away from all this. This whole shift to continuous real-time health monitoring, it fundamentally changes what it even means to be healthy. Well, health stops being this static thing you check once a year at a physical. It's no longer just the absence of sickness. Instead, it becomes this dynamic state that you are constantly managing, measuring, and optimizing every hour of every day. Your health becomes a process, not just a baseline.
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.